So my name's Harry and I work at the Dove Marine Lab in the northeast of England. I'm currently a PhD candidate and soon to be a postdoctoral research assistant. I study the effect of pollution on kelp forest ecosystems. So coal mining was a really important industry historically, however it was quite environmentally damaging. Lots of coal mining waste containing pollution was dumped into coastal habitats because it was an easy way to dispose of it. This introduced lots of pollutants into marine habitats and smothered kelp forest ecosystems. And my work focuses on how this pollution still affects these kelp forests today. On a day where we're doing some field work, we often wake up quite early and go and check the weather. And this is really important because when we're working on the sea can be quite a dangerous place. And we want to make sure that the weather is really good, so it's limiting that danger. We then travel to our fieldwork sites and get ourselves ready, and this can vary depending on what we're doing. So for example, we might be going out in a wetsuit, snorkeling to collect some samples, or we could be going out on a boat to go scuba diving. When we're doing the work, it can vary quite a lot from going and collecting samples to taking videos, or swabbing kelp to collect bacterial samples, or collecting sediment from around the kelp forests to see if they contain any carbon. Once we've collected our samples, we often end up going back to the lab to process them. And again, this varies depending on what we're looking at. So we could be chopping up kelp samples to dry in the oven and see how much carbon they contain. We could be extracting DNA from kelp bacterial samples to see if the effects of pollution change the bacteria that live on kelp. Or we could be looking at sediment from around kelp forests to see if kelp carbon is stored inside them. So it's really variable depending on what we're looking at. So throughout my PhD, some unexpected and exciting things have happened. When I first started, it was quite an uncertain time, being sort of at the back end of COVID. And one thing that was very uncertain was international travel. Thankfully, this got a lot better. And over the last few years, I've been able to travel around the world, going to, for example, Australia to present some research at a conference, as well as traveling to Chile in South America to go on a diving project and to organise some workshops. Some other exciting things that have happened. I was able to train as a commercial diver, which has allowed me to dive on lots of research projects, both in the UK and abroad. And this is really cool because it allows you to have an insight into the underwater world and really explore marine biology. And it's great because we're really intrigued in some of the things that live under the water, and those things are also really intriguing us, so you get to have some really cool experiences. So my career path into this role started when I was at school, and I was really interested in fish. I used to have lots of aquariums where I keep fish. I had ponds in the garden at my parents' house where I would keep fish, and I used to spend all my weekends going out fishing and catching fish. And this led me to really want to go and study freshwater biology at university. Now, my family told me that this was quite a narrow option and not really keeping my options very broad. So I looked at other courses and found one which was marine and freshwater biology. And over the course of doing this 3-year undergraduate degree, the marine side of things was really interesting as well. And this led me on to going and studying a master's in marine biology. This was a master's of research, and the research bit was really intriguing to me. I found that really interesting. So that led me on to going to where I am now, which is doing a PhD in marine biology. So to get to where I am now, you need some qualifications. An undergraduate degree is a must, and most people, but not all, study a master's degree as well. That is pretty much all you need. However, If you want to go and do other things, like for example diving, you would need diving qualifications. Some people, for their work, they go out on boats, so they would need boating qualifications if they wanted to drive those boats. But if you want to just go along for the ride, then you can just get an undergraduate degree and a master's degree and start a PhD. If I could go back in time and give myself some guidance or reassurance, I would go back to when I was in school and tell myself to just follow my passion and keep on achieving what I know I can achieve, regardless of what other people say.